Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's the boy TL Savage, and as promised, I am here today because we just got Gozyuger officially revealed, and I just want to, talk about it and get the basic information out there in like one concisive video that probably is going to be out of date by the time it goes up, but regardless, so for those unaware, Gozyuger is the 49th Super Sentai series. Is going to be premiering on February 16th, 2025. It'll be commemorating the 50th anniversary of Super Sentai, which got some of y'all messed up mentally, I will add, but we gonna let y'all slide today. There's gonna be another animal-based Sentai, which is cool, but there's a twist in that most of the Rangers are a first in some way, shape, or form. The team is comprised of Goju Wolf, are red, Goju Leon, are blue, Goju Tyranno, are yellow, Goju Eagle, are green, and Goju Unicorn, are first female Black Ranger. And then the other first I was referencing earlier was we have our first red wolf, we have our first green eagle, I believe. We've had green avian Rangers before, but like not an eagle from what I remember. And was it Tyranno's our first non-red T-Rex Ranger, so yeah, that's pretty cool. To give y'all the rundown of these characters real quick in my own words, basically Goju Wolf is kind of rowdy, foul-mouthed, strong, and violent, but of course naturally he's a good guy underneath all the rough exterior and whatnot. Goju Leon is charismatic and kind to everyone they meet. We'll talk about Leon in a little bit. Goju Tyranno is naive and finds himself in a good amount of trouble, but he's super strong, so don't worry about him. Goju Ego is Goju Ego? Goju Eagle is a fun-loving playboy who takes great pride in his agility. And then finally, Goju Unicorn has a cool exterior, but she cares deeply for family, or at least those she views as family anyway. Now, going back to Leon for a second, Leon is in a bit of a... Leon's basically where Papillon Oger was back in King Oger, where some came out and was like, oh, it's a female, but then some images came out, it was like, well, they look male and whatnot. And it was the same thing with Papillon Oger. I remember the poster dropped and everybody was like, oh no, Papillon looks male and whatnot. So what I'm going to assume is that either it is a guy or it's another Papillon Oger situation where they're genderless / non-binary, whichever term would make the most sense in this situation. I always get kind of confused on that one. That's what my assumption is anyway, because otherwise I don't really know where the whole Leon is female thing came from, if there's not something to it in some way, shape, or form. But like I said, we'll see. So the basic plot line of the show, if you would, is that the Rangers are going to be fighting what are they called? Number 1 monsters that are sent by the evil organization. No name for that yet. We'll probably be waiting until probably January, since the show is allegedly premiering on February 16th. Although something else did say it was going to be more like a special rather than an actual first episode, so we'll see. But they're going to be fighting number 1 monsters and then saving people who get caught in the middle of it. But also, the gimmick for the series, the Sentai rings, what is said is that essentially it's going to be a battle between Sentais for the rings. So it's going to be essentially the Gozyugers versus previous red Sentai Rangers. Yeah, just want to go ahead and interject here a little bit. It seems like the text basically is saying that there's people with previous powers of the previous power. The text talking about, previous Sentai Red showing up seems to instead be like people with the powers. So essentially seems more like it can be a new person with the powers. So I just wanted to say that. See, that's why I'm glad I saw that before I post. See, this is what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to the main video. Before I go to the staff, the mecha of this year is also the transformation device, that being the Tega sword, and that can actually transform into the Gozyuger Robo. Now, the Gozyuger Robo is not the name by itself. I'm just calling it that because that's the best way to put it and differentiate between the changer and the actual robot. The individual robot modes are known as Tega Sword, color. So go, for example, Goju Wolf's is Tega Sword red, Leon's is Tega Sword blue, Tyranno is Tega Sword yellow, Eagle is Tega Sword green, and then Unicorn is Tega Sword black. And with Leon, Tyranno, Eagle, and Unicorn, what makes theirs different from Wolf's is that alongside the changing of the helmet, they also combine with their individual weapons. Leon has a gun, Tyranno has a hammer, Eagle has a bow, and then Unicorn has a drill. You gotta see in the image of the mecha combos, because they actually, Toei was nice enough to give us official images of them. You can see that Leon's weapon forms the right arm, Tyranno's hammer forms kind of like the upper body in a sense. It's not confusing, it's just, I don't know how else to really put it, but it's kind of the upper body, kind of not. I'm gonna look at it right now. Yeah, it's like kind of the upper body into the arms. If y'all see the image will be up on screen right now, so y'all see what I'm talking about. And then as for Goju Eagle's bow will be forming kind of the chest and the legs, or at least, no, it looks like it's just the right leg, but it's on the left leg too. But again, like I said, the image will be on screen, so you see what I'm talking about. And with Unicorn, her weapon, which is again a drill, forms both arms. But even though her shield is her left arm is being covered up by Tanga Sword red, I believe her left arm has a shield on it, which is nice. But yeah, that's gonna be the mecha, at least the starting mecha for this year. So basically, each Gojuger has their own version of the mecha. Now we're unsure as to whether all of their Tega Swords can enlarge or if it's just reds. Again, we'll see. But it is interesting that the heads are all made up of Sentai rings. That's, again, the gimmick. Because initially everybody was like, okay, the change rings and the mecha rings are the same, but obviously they're different, because the change rings are simply just the Gojuger's helmet, whereas the mecha rings are actually essentially like an animal head, and through some kind of gimmick in some way, shape, or form, they then open up to reveal the mecha face. Now we can move on to the staff, because the staff ain't. We'll get to it. So starting off, first and foremost, the writer of Gojuger, at least the main writer, is going to be Akiko Inoue. She was a secondary writer for Gozyuger. I'm hoping that the writing will be better with her being the main writer this time rather than a secondary. We'll see. The director is Ryuta Sasaki, who directed a whole bunch of Sentai, some Kamen Rider episodes, and some Power Ranger seasons. The ones up here are Lightspeed Rescue and Lost Galaxy, so that's that. The special effects director is going to be Hiroshi Butsuda. He has also worked on Gozyuger and Saber, Revice, Geats, and Gozyuger. The action director is going to be Hirofumi Fukuzawa, who's been a suit actor in both Sentai and Power Rangers. There's a good mix of reds, mechas. So yeah, he has a couple of different credits here. It seems like he was mainly a sub for reds up until like Wild Force, basically. The most recent credit would be of course Boom Boonger as Go On Red for episode 12. So yeah, and then the music will be handled by Kan Sawada. Hasn't really worked on a lot of Toku, well, a lot of like Toei Toku, because of course you have Godzilla in there. He did some work on Godzilla Singular Point. He did a good amount of Doraemon. He's the current music producer for Doraemon, actually. He did do the High School Heroes though. Because I'm not really familiar with his music, I can't really say whether or not I'm excited or not. But ultimately, the staff, usually with staff I'm just kind of whatever on, because staff doesn't really, in my experience, dictate how bad something is. It's more of like oh, okay, that's the staff. The only one where I have any sort of feeling towards it is, of course, Inoue as writer. But even then, she was the secondary writer of Gozyuger, so can I really blame her for how bad Gozyuger was? My bad if you're a Gozyuger fan, but I gotta be real. I just didn't like it. But anyway, that's all we really have on Gojuger right now. Now we're waiting on Toei picks, and then we'll be waiting for the press conference or whatever that's going to be. Or maybe they're going to do something similar to Gav, where it's just kind of a overall backstage behind the scenes videos. We'll see. I'm really excited. The suits look cool, the mecha looks cool. But yeah, if you like this quick video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share my videos, just all that basic stuff that all YouTubers say. I'm not really good at it yet, so forgive me. But yeah, that's it, y'all. So I'll see y'all next time. Next video should be either content warning or the first arc of Gav overall thoughts. Probably content warning, because that's actually done. But I'll see y'all in one of those videos. Till next time, peace.